All right, so our next artboard is the line drawing tools. So these are located below your type tool. Okay, we got the line segment tool. I don't really use this a whole lot, but you might have a use for it if you're trying to just create a simple line. So uh, I mean, you just kind of click and drag. You could also set it if you need it to be a specific size. If you just double click on the artboard, let's say you have to have an 8-inch line. Let's do 0-degree angle and hit OK. Notice how I'll make that for you. Set the stroke to one of your swatch colors that you picked. So I want to pick orange just because it's a bright color. Set the stroke to, let's do 10. All right, so now we're going to get into more specifics. So if you look at my line here, it's like basically a rectangle. It doesn't have to be. We can change this little option here, and we can make it kind of like a crazy like width line. Or let's take it back to uniform. Maybe we have, if I click on this little stroke panel, okay, this pops up. The caps can be rounded. So notice when I clicked on this option, it made my caps rounded. Again, we can mess with these. So it's a little bit different, like a needle looks like. But let's just keep it basic for this one, uniform with a rounded cap, okay? So let me see that you can do that. Or, yeah, and just kind of set it here. The next tool is the arc tool. Okay, this is a whole new tool that Photoshop does not use. It's located under here. And when I click and kind of pull out, notice how it just makes these little arcs. Okay. However, what I've seen people actually do with this is if you double click on the tool over here, we want it to be a closed, like a closed arc. And you kind of adjust the slope, see how it's like adjusting. I want it to be like, let's keep it at -100. Then kind of fill it. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. So we just want to have it closed, -100. Hit OK. And I can click and drag out like a little shape. Okay, I'm going to put these on the corner here of my page. I'm going to take off the stroke because I don't want it to have a stroke, but I do want it to have a fill. So let's go ahead and, oh geez, it's not working because it's not selected. So selection tool, no fill, and let's give it a colored fill. Okay. So this gives it like, I'm going to go ahead and put on my print boundaries here, that little dashed line. If you don't have it, that's okay. Just put it in the corner. I want to duplicate it because I want to put these arcs on all 4 of my corners. So I'm going to Alt, click, and drag. I'm going to go ahead and rotate. So hold down Shift so that way it kind of snaps to a 90-degree angle. Alt, click, rotate. See how my little icon has a little turn signal. Hold down Shift. There, and then Alt, click, rotate, Shift, and it'll snap to that. Okay. So there I have, I'm going to go ahead and kind of adjust this with my arrow tool. Have these little arcs around here. And finally we have the spiral tool. This one's kind of a weird tool. It makes a spiral. If I click and drag, see how it has a spiral. With it, if you double click on the tool, you should get, let's try this. I'm going to double click on the canvas. There we go. You can really edit like the direction of the spiral. Maybe I don't want so many segments. Let's do 15. Decay is like how much it really wraps around. Maybe let's set it to 70. Hit OK. Okay, so you can see here the decay basically is not as tight of a spiral. So I'm going to set this to have a stroke. I do not want it to have a fill. And let's thicken the stroke up so we can see it. This one, what I want you to do is do one of these like fun strokes. So maybe we have this charcoal feather. And I can really change, it doesn't have to be uniform. Make it thicker. You can see here what that does. Okay. So show me that you can use the arc tool like this here. You can use the line tool with like little rounded caps, and that you can have, like, you can adjust your stroke options to be one of these artistic strokes and save it.